Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Force for Growth Live. I'm Ricardo.
I'm Courtney.
I'm Michelle. What's
Woo!
up, Ricardo?
It's Friday, Michelle. It's Friday. Woo! Y'all believe that? What were you saying right before we came on?
Yeah,
Say it
the
again, Courtney.
second to the last Friday of the year. The next one will be Christmas, and then the next one will be the first of the year.
Wow.
Yep.
The second to the last Friday. So we got one more Friday in 2020.
And it's Christmas, though, so I feel like we can't even really count it. So as far as your typical Fridays, you have one left, and it's today.
And you're
Because
done.
I hope we get to be off and spend time with family. So we're not even going to count Christmas because that's its own category. So you got one
It
more Friday.
Make it count.
Make it count. And today's the Friday.
Woo-hoo.
Today is the one Friday. What? All right.
Can't believe
So here's the question, guys. And I feel like I'm waving my arms around all over the place this morning, but it's okay.
You just go with it.
Here's the question. What inspires you to take action? Do you have a quote, a phrase, a thought, an idea, something that inspired you to take action either this week, this year, this month?
I have one that 2 years ago today. So today is the second anniversary of another morning call that I participated in. But I'm going to back up a minute because just that had to happen for a lot of other things that happened for me over the last few years. So Sean Murphy, one of my favorite humans in the world, one of our friends here at the show, but very much a personal mentor to me. Love him dearly. And thank you to Ricardo for introducing me to him. So yes, give credit where credit's due. So once upon a time, Sean, he jokes that he started the call for himself. He just needed a community to that early morning. Just let's do it every day. We don't know what we're going to talk about. We're going to wing it. And I participated. So I was a fan of Sean, but I was kind of stalking him on social media. So he started this morning call on Zoom 2 years ago. And I missed the very first day, but I tuned in on the second day because I guess, I don't know, FOMO kicked in or I just knew I missed something that was important piece for me. And so there for the first 6 months, I don't think I missed a day. They do them on the weekends now too. So I'm not part of the weekend club, but like I did not miss a day. It was extremely important to me to not miss a day. And of that, I wouldn't shut up about it to Ricardo. And so I don't think it was solely because of Sean's morning calls, but in the process, we decided we were going to start a morning call. Let's just wing it. Let's just see. And out of that came this podcast and this show. And so it just trickles. But we kind of had just this episode this morning of the call that was very, I feel like I'm floating in the clouds, very lovey-dovey right now. But we just went through and talked about like what each other has taught us. And man, the power of showing up consistently every day. Like, you can't see what that will add up to. You can't see what it will break through. And I'm not even talking about money, but yes, I got a better job. Yes, I'm way happier and more fulfilled at this job. That's all there. But the biggest thing is I gain and am growing to the courage to do what I want to do, be who I am, the courage to discover who I really am if I don't know yet, and know that that's all okay and that I'm enough. And the world needs my gifts, whatever those might be, however scary it might be. And that's in large part to plugging into the Daily Awakening call about 2 years ago. And in large part to, dear friends like both of you. And without that 6 a.m. tribe, I don't know if we'd know Michelle as well. That's where we got gifted Michelle and just, there's no turning back since then. So just the power of showing up consistently. And I mean, I was scared to turn my camera on the Zoom, but even some people commented today, even if they were scared to participate and talk, just being around that energy every morning was pivotal to change their life. And so even if you aren't ready to like go full-fledged, be the speaker on stage and turn it on and participate that first call, if you can still just show up. So just keep showing up. Just keep showing up. You'll get there. And so I don't know what that means to you, but just keep having courage to show up and just, it trickles and it's a ripple. And so that's what I've been kind of marinating on all morning. So yes, that's what inspires me.
I'll say one, I'm so incredibly grateful because I love you guys so much. And you've really been such a huge impact on my life over the last year that we've known each other. So I'm really grateful. You kept saying the word showing up consistently. Consistency is my word of the year. I've already chosen it for 2021 and I've already started implementing it in December, like on the things that I want to show up consistently for my health, my business. There's so many things that I want because I've learned and I see that consistency is so incredibly important, and the compound effect of consistency, showing up a little bit every day, doesn't require that much effort. It's not like you're going to gain more showing up a small amount consistently every day than showing up a huge amount one day and then not, the other 6 days of the week. So that's my word. And so you kept saying that. So I love that. One of the things I think that resonates with me and helps me take action, even when it's hard action to take, when it's something that I don't want to do, is Mark Twain's quote. It's never wrong to do the right thing. And so I learned that the hard way. And had I, it's like, and you feel what the right thing to do is. And if you'll just do it, then it saves you a whole lot of suffering and possibly saves other people a whole lot of suffering. And it speeds up the results that you're looking for. But just do the right thing. It's never wrong ever to do the right thing. And so I love that quote. And I try to keep that in my mind when I'm making decisions. And it makes it easier a little bit, or spurs me forward to take action even when it's hard things that I don't want to do.
That's a good one.
It sounds like the theme is showing up.
What you got, Ricardo? What inspires you?
My quote is Helen Keller says, the only thing worse than being blind is having no sight but no vision. It's having sight but no vision. Sorry, let me just say that again. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. And this is from Helen Keller. So for those of you who don't know who she is, well, basically she was a famous blind person. So it's ironic. Blind and deaf, yes. So that's what makes it very powerful, because she was blind, but she had a huge, huge, huge vision. So my big thing was, what do you focus on? Every year we set new goals, right? And we have this new vision, and we do all these wonderful things to surround our vision for the new year. But do you have a vision for the day? Do you have a vision for today? How are you going to show up today? How are you going to make a difference in other people's lives? What's your vision for the day? What's your vision for the meeting that you're fixing to go on, Courtney? What's your vision for the meeting that you're going to have this afternoon, Michelle? Do you have a vision? Do you know how you're going to show up to these events, to these meetings, to these places around these people? What are they going to see? What are they going to hear? What are they going to feel? So that's what I was thinking about this morning.
That's a good one. Man. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to read my quote real quick, because it kind of fits into, I talked a lot about enchantment this week and dreaming. So my head's still in the clouds. So I have a quote by Samuel Taylor Coleridge that it's just one of the best in the world. What if you slept? And what if in your sleep you dreamed? And what if in your dream you went to heaven? And there you plucked a strange and beautiful flower. And what if when you awoke, you had that flower in your hand? Ah, what then? So we're talking about vision and vision boards. And to me, that's the same thing. Something bloomed in your brain. You added action. You added reality to it. You fused it with the actual action steps, right? And had the courage to show up. And then suddenly it's real, right? You look back one day and it's real. So yeah, that was vision.
What I will say is, if you think about what a vision board is, if you think about what writing down your goals are, you're getting them out of your head onto something outside of your head. That's one of the things that makes it so powerful. It's your goals, your vision, whatever it is, it's in your head. You write them down in your journal, or you put them up on your vision board. And now you've taken them out of your head, which is just an idea, just a thought, just a whatever you want to call it. And now it's something tangible that you can actually see and touch in the real world.
That's something I was going to
thought in your head.
Yeah, something I was going to throw out there. You just said see and touch. The more senses that you can throw into that vision, the more likely it is to come to fruition. So whenever you put it on a vision board, you see it, put it somewhere where you can see it every day. That's very important. And then you see and touch. Like I even listened to, I cannot remember the name of the book, but it's called Inner Size. And he talks about when you write things down or when you're reading, if you'll run your finger across the words, that you've got the vision part of it. And then even reading out loud, you've got the, auditory part, and then you've got the touch part. The more senses you can bring into what you're doing, the stronger the impact is in your brain.
That's a great tip. Yeah.
Man, that goes away kind of with the Kindle and the digital because you can't really touch it. It's not a physical page or a book. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when you run your finger along the words on the Kindle, it's going to turn the page.
Versus having that nice, comfortable paper feel, right? That smooth feeling that you would have when you run your finger around the words.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what's something, okay, so rewind 20 years. What's some advice you would give your younger self about taking action?
Do it. Like the Nike slogan, just do it. Just do it. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't sit on the sidelines thinking, man, I should really go do this. I should really go do that. I should really go try this. Just go out and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Versus all this hesitation. And you know what that hesitation is? I'll tell you what that hesitation is. That hesitation is you're looking for reasons not to do it versus looking for reasons to do it. You're looking for reasons not to do something. You're looking for evidence to back you up and to be like, oh, yeah, that's right. So I don't think I'm going to do that now. Don't be that
Patterns
person.
only keep repeating because we keep repeating the pattern.
Correct.
Break the pattern.
Yep.
Do it this time. Actually do it. At least you'll have a different baseline going at that point.
One of the things that, oh my goodness. Oh, now I feel my vein popping, Courtney, already.
Oh, this is getting good.
You
okay, sorry, Michelle.
Popping.
You'll have to wait just a second.
That's okay.
I know you're.
I'm looking forward to this.
One of the things that kind of like gets on my nerves a little bit is people post on Facebook and they'll be like, hey, if I did this, would anyone be interested? Or if I did this other thing, would anyone be interested? Who would be interested if I did this cool thing? Who cares? Who cares? Just do it. If people are going to be interested or not, that's beside the point. Why don't you just do it? Why do you have to get a feeler? Because let me tell you something. Here's what's going to happen. If you have 100 people comment on that post saying, yes, I'm interested. Yes, I'm in. Yes, I'm going to post a little cute little emoji con over there to signify how excited I am. 5% of those people will actually follow through. So why does it matter?
And why are you needing their validation and not your own? You know?
Why?
Like
it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Anytime you want to ask people like, should I do this or should I, or why, you know, blah, blah, just if you're putting that out to someone else, why are you asking for their validation over yours? Why are you valuing their opinion over your own?
That brings up a quote that I love that I've mentioned on this show before, but Rachel Hollis, you don't get to sit in the cheap seats and call my shots. You know, other people don't have to deal with or walk through the consequences of your decisions. Other people don't have to deal with the failure. Other people don't have to deal with the, you know, what you didn't do that you always wanted to do. You have to sit in that. So why do you let other people drive those decisions?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Ryan is bringing it this morning. He says, I had a baseball. Ooh, hold on, let me see here. I had a baseball coach in college that told me, Ryan, you can steal second base because you see yourself doing it easily. Now think about getting on first base the same way.
Yes.
Great advice. That's whenever you're like starting a new job and let's say
breathe, Courtney, breathe.
I know, I gotta be nice. Okay. So let's just say someone who's training you in a new position. But I went through this experience where the comment was made, oh, that'll take 6 hours. Like whenever you do that type of thing, that'll take 6 hours. And I stopped this person. I was like, stop it. Don't tell me how long it will take or don't tell me like, oh, it's always going to take that long. Guess what? Because I don't want to set that up as my expectation. So I just was like, nope, it'll take less than an hour. Nope, it'll take less than an hour. And each time that situation has come up in my career since then, it's taken less than an hour. Granted, it's been a stressful hour, but people will lay their limitations on you. It's your choice to accept them and make that your expectation. So look at that in all areas of your life, not just like, we've been broke. We're always going to be broke. Or, I don't know, just these comments that get repeated in families. Just stop that. Stop it. Don't let it sink in, because that becomes your life expectation. If that's your life expectation, what does your life probably look like? Exactly what you expect it to. So yeah, that is great advice from your coach, Ryan.
More importantly, don't tell me what I can't do. Don't tell me what I can't do. Whoa, man, that's a big one. The minute that you put something out there, hey, this is what I'm going to do. Well, let me tell you 15 reasons why you can't do it.
Or why you shouldn't.
One reason, or why you shouldn't. Versus, yes, or one reason why it's a great idea and you should go for it anyways.
Yeah. One great reason can overcome hundreds of bad. And that may be the fate behind why you have that thought and you have that vision.
Now, it's important to point out the pitfalls. That's something different. That's a different conversation. Most likely for an episode on its own. But it is important to point out the pitfalls and help someone achieve their mission and point out the shortcomings or the things that maybe they didn't think of. That's something different than totally discouraging someone and throwing out bad juju into their world for whatever it is they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
You can tell the difference too by the energy from which it comes. So if it's really energy in love, or you feel it, you feel the energy. So if it's coming in negative energy, like you can feel it. But that negative energy, that's an opinion that you don't need to listen to. But when it's a loving, concerned, did you think about this? But coming from, let's be open to the possibilities of this decision, but make sure you think about these things. That's a whole different energy. And that's something you should listen to.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, if it comes from love, you can feel it. You know it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to take that advice.
Off,
it's still a choice. Whatever they tell you from love, it's still your choice. So it's a series of choices. But I mean, it's great to get advice from people who've been through it, who've overcome it, who have great advice for it. But don't let their advice hold you back either.
And you might be a little bit better off if you actually take the advice.
Yeah.
For me, I go about that. I say, hey, I really like that idea, but let me fill in some gaps that you might have missed.
Yeah, but also know that you don't have to you don't have to explain yourself, right? If it feels right to you, if it feels like the right decision to you, just because someone else doesn't think it is, you don't owe an explanation, right? So if you choose not to take certain advice, then you don't owe an explanation for that. It's your decision.
Yeah.
It's never wrong to
That's
do
a
the right
big
thing.
Yeah.
Do the right thing for you. It's never wrong to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And the right thing is never wrong for any party, right? Ultimately, it may not be what the other party wants, but it's never wrong for anybody if it's the right thing.
Like Jessie says right there, she says, correct. You do you, girl.
Yes.
You do you. And you can't say that without pointing the finger. You got to point the finger. You do you. Right? It doesn't work if you say it any other way. But on the same note, don't be apologetic. Oh, man, we apologize way too much for stuff that we don't need to be apologizing for.
Yeah.
Stop being so apologetic. Oh, well, I'm so sorry, but no, I'm so sorry, but I need to go do this. I'm so sorry, but I can't make it. I'm so sorry, but I can't do this. I'm so sorry, but I can't do that. I'm so sorry about this and that and the other. Don't be so apologetic.
Jessie said, thanks for adding the girl when you did it, Ricardo. I do want to throw out like a confidence tip, or just how to appear slightly more confident. So whenever you we'll come back to the I'm sorry in a second. But yeah, whenever you make a statement and then you explain and validate it or explain why that needs to be true or something, but basically you make a statement and then you try to back it up and validate it and, just all this, you're lessening the importance of the statement that you started with. Whereas you can just send that, so think filling out a text and you're talking to somebody and you're like, hey, would you consider doing this? I think that's a great idea because maybe we need this or we need this or da, 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 da. If you would just send the question, you come off way more confident. And the thing about the I'm sorry, and I do want to ask you a little bit to elaborate, Ricardo, because whenever you say I'm sorry, even if you mean it innocently, even if you just think you're smoothing over a perception somebody had of you or something, you're putting a burden on someone else to then tell you it's okay. So when you're like, oh, I'm sorry for something minimal, then they have to tell you, oh, it's okay. Don't worry. That burdens somebody to have to say that. So instead you could, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so late. Thank you for waiting on me. Thank you for your patience. That doesn't put a burden on someone else. So just analyze kind of how you lay out statements like that, because it tells a lot about what's going on inside. Yeah. Would you add to that, Ricardo?
Okay, real quick. Before that, Ryan says, the University of Michigan did a study, and there are times where our brain cannot tell the difference between I'm sorry for ... or I'm a sorry person.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's massive.
Powerful. I believe that. I totally believe that. That totally seems accurate to me. It just makes sense. But I will go look at that study to see how they got that data. However, he also says a t-shirt idea, cartoon version of Ricardo pointing his finger and saying, you do you.
Yes. I love it.
We have a funny picture from before because he was trying out his little ankle. It's like, you do. Just kidding. You do you,
Little,
girl.
T-Rex arms.
Right. No, you're much cooler than that. We would make you look
T-Rex arms. I think, Courtney, is that when you think about how many times you say I'm sorry and you start watching it, I think you're going to realize how many times you actually say it. I don't think we realize how many times we're apologizing for being ourselves. I don't think we realize that.
I think, too, that we say I'm sorry, but really we're not. It's like wasted
so
words.
What's the point? Yeah, so what's the point?
It's like, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry I did this, but are you really? Or did you intend to do that? You know what I mean?
It's watered down now.
Yeah.
When people say I'm sorry, I'm like, are you really though? Is that really true? Are you really sorry? I don't know.
I'm sorry I can't make it to that event. Are you really sorry? Or are you choosing something over that event? You know what I mean? It's a choice.
It's a choice. So
I wrote
there's
down
no need
something.
to apologize for that.
Yeah, Sean said this morning about words because we were talking about the power of words. And he said words don't teach people. They don't tell people things. Words inspire, they trigger, they move you, or they turn you off. He said something along those lines. But if you think I'm sorry is either a trigger, it's sparking something that you just don't know that reaction. So you need to learn to change your verbiage because you don't need to apologize for who you are. If you feel the way, own it. Own it. Don't sit there and be pathetic and be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like actually make a statement that, adds a truth.
Make a statement that makes sense and that adds value. Ryan says a helpful book on this topic is The Power of an Apology by Beverly Engel, Engel. So if anybody wants to check that out, it sounds like a good book recommendation.
And Randy Pausch, the last lecture professor, in his book, or this, I'm not sure if he goes over it in the speech, but in the book, he talks about the formula for a proper apology is I am sorry for, say what you did, it will not happen again, and mean those three things. So I'm sorry, and you don't follow it up with anything else. That's an incomplete apology. I'm sorry for whatever I did to you. It won't happen again. And if you don't mean that third part, don't even try. Don't even
There's
say
nothing
it.
worse than an insincere apology. There's nothing worse than an insincere apology.
Yeah.
That's
because you're really doing that to yourself. So don't do the autopilot fake emotions. Come on.
Autopilot baked emotions. Wow. That's another t-shirt on its own. Autopilot baked emotions.
I said baked, but I like the baked. I like where he's
Oh, I
leaning.
thought you said baked. Say it again then, Courtney. I heard baked.
The autopilot faked emotions.
Oh, faked emotions.
But we can bake them. Like, we
But
can
that makes
toss
more
that crap
sense.
in the fire. Yeah.
I love that
Fake-
because I'm
fake
on
makes
a
so much more sense.
mission. I'm on a mission right now to be deliberate and make deliberate decisions and really be conscious. And so I love that autopilot
Autopilot faked emotions.
emotions. I love it. That's great.
That's a good one.
That is, yeah.
All right. Ryan's always coming with the good questions. So to combine what the three of y'all have introduced, he's a Texas boy, obviously. My question would be, what do we do if we're sorry for not taking action? What do we do with that feeling of regret or frustration?
Maybe we can apologize to ourselves in that way that Courtney explained. I'm sorry for it won't happen again, but mean it to yourself.
Or you could put on your big boy bridges and get over it.
Yeah.
I
Just
mean,
act.
so sometimes it's really that simple, guys. I get it that we want to hear and listen to something really profound that's going to help us get past this, but sometimes you just have to put on your big boy bridges or your big girl bridges and be like, hey, okay, that happened, it's done, and I need to get over it and I need to move on.
Yeah. Also,
Right.
like what can you learn?
That's the quickest way. That's the quickest way. And just like
What
a
can you
muscle,
learn?
just like a muscle, the more that you do it, the easier it gets to get over those disappointments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the faster you do it, but also look at what you can learn. Like, what can I learn from this? Oh, it may just be that you feel regret. And so don't do it again. You know what I mean? But you looking at what you learn from it, then that mistake or whatever you want to call it serves you and it's not against you. Life happens for you and not to you, you know?
And everything
say
they
this.
okay.
If you're thinking about something that you regret, most likely it's a picture in your head, right? Not your head, or say yes if that's the case. Most of the time, it's a picture in your head. So one thing to look at is how big is this picture? Is this picture big, like you're seeing it on the movie screen, or are you in it like you're living it in real time? If you're in it like you're living it in real time, push it away from you and put it on a screen. And then take that screen and make it smaller and smaller and smaller, fuzzier and fuzzier and fuzzier, turning the volume down, and this should get those feelings and emotions turned down quite a bit.
Yeah,
But that
definitely.
still doesn't beat putting on your big boy bridges and getting over it.
Yeah. And I was going to add to what Michelle said, but basically, like, it's all, Tony Robbins teaches that it didn't take 20 years for your life to change. It took 20 years to get to the day where you said enough is enough. So leverage, right? So that repeat action of you not doing it or whatever is building up more leverage. So just like he said, put on your big boy pants and deal with it, act, do it, but know that, the regret dissolves when you become grateful for the moment. Okay. So if you understand that not doing it again piss you off that much more, use that anger, act, do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just need to get up and start, right? So every time the regret pops up, just be like, thank you for my conviction. Thank you for my passion, and act. And that will, if you're acting consistently, your ego is going to squash the regret real quick, because the ego is now like, well, I am now doing it, so it'll reframe really quick in your head if you get up, act, do it.
And
but that was a lesson.
Time.
Yeah. And the lesson will be repeated until the student sees it, learns it.
Action also changes the triad, physiology and focus, right? Yes. So 2 of the 3, physiology, focus, and language. So action, immediate action, it completely changes your energy. It changes your focus and it changes your physiology. So it's very powerful. Just take action. So even in those moments where you're like, I don't want to do this, and you're putting it off, the energy that you're expending, we've talked about that before, the energy you're expending, putting it off and thinking about it and not wanting to do it. If you'll just take action, number one, it takes a whole lot less energy. Number two, it's a whole lot faster. And number three, it changes your focus. And so it gets rid of that dread that you have going on.
Yeah. And just a last reminder that whenever you do have a thought, whatever it might be, like, oh, I should go do this, in 3 to 5 seconds, your brain's going to do its best to only do one thing, or I'm sorry, 2 things. So will it kill me? Does this fit a pattern that I've been in before? And so it will list all the reasons why you shouldn't do it, because it's unsafe, because people will judge me, because they might laugh at you, blah, blah, blah. Will it kill me? And then does it fit into a pattern? So have you continually in your past never acted? So just know if it's in those 2 categories, it's just the mind doing what the mind does. You got to build up the muscle to be like, nope, mine right now, I'm the ruler. Like, you just sit down, pipe down, shut up, come with me, so just take charge in those first 5 to 10 seconds. And it sounds silly, but do it consistently.
The mind is doing what the mind does.
Ryan says Google Chrome has a just not sorry plugin that will notify you each time you use the word that will undermine your message. For real. LOL. That's awesome and
scary.
Yeah,
time, because the fact that someone felt the need to come up with a plugin because they said, I'm sorry that much. I mean, that's a big one.
Speaks volumes.
I might need to download that.
A great episode today, guys. Great episode. This was fun, energizing, hot button topics. And what's going on next Monday, ladies?
We have our last word of the week. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I don't know.
Is
I
it
can't
the
even
last one? Yeah, it's the last word of the week of the year.
It is because we have 2. It's the second to the last. So we have the 21st and then the 28th. So,
and then in 2021, we're starting a whole new program on Mondays, which we're looking forward to, that we're working on.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
So word of the week on Monday, second to the last word of the week of 2021.
Yes.
Ooh. And plug somebody.
Yeah, okay. You can catch all of our episodes, the entire archive, on all your favorite platforms at forceforgrowth.com.
Yes. Tune in, subscribe, like, show us some love.
Yeah.
And if you show us some love, we'll return the love.
Yeah. Insert smooth jazz voice.
Make sure you like and share this. If you guys got some value out of it, make sure you like and share. Help us grow this audience. Numbers are looking good. The listeners are going up on the audio version, and we're spreading some good positive messages. Have a great weekend, everyone. And we'll see y'all on Monday.
Bye. Have a good weekend.
Bye, guys.